You know, it feels like we are not speaking the same language, those of us in Israel and those in the diaspora. It's becoming increasingly problematic, not only for those of us who want to make a difference, but also for those who are embedded in the communities where they are feeling silenced, whether you're educators or parents, family members, or friends. It feels as if anyone who is not calling for the end of the war is somehow the worst evil ever. And unfortunately, none of us want war, but some wars must be fought. And we may not like or even understand the logic behind that war, but certainly we have to put some level of faith in leaders, even if you may despise them when they are democratically elected. That is who their leadership is. So let's turn that to the Gazans, who elected Hamas and will, as we now know, elect Hamas again, should there be elections held, because Hamas has succeeded in captivating the world, in captivating global attention, because they glommed on, along with Muslim Brotherhood everywhere and all of the jihadist movements. They have glommed on to the common enemy, and that common enemy is the Jew. But when you divide the Jews by imposing a distinction, even if it is a farce, even if it is just a facade, you impose that distinction, then you divide the Jews. And in doing that, you weaken us. Well, guess what? When we live in a modern Jewish sovereignty, yeah, you're not going to weaken us as easily as you have in previous generations. But those of you who are living around the world and want to speak this language and can help to speak this language, stop relying on your legacy organizations and your influencers and be the voice yourself. If you are questioning, then maybe dig deeper and question more. Question the propaganda campaigns that have successfully created a globe of Islamo-Nazi fascism that is taking over every logical mind. The people who took part in the mass killings, the Einsatzgruppen, they were common people during the Holocaust. They were people who weren't necessarily ideologically motivated. There was a cause. And that cause just included eliminating people they no longer saw as human. That rhetoric has very prominently become displayed even in kindergartens. We are hearing more and more stories, and the only way things will change is if you demand change from within your communities to create empowerment and not apologetics, to understand that you're fighting for the survival of our people today and forever. That's why we believe in a global community of virtual citizens of Israel who do want more, who want to do more, who want to save more Jews, more Jewish identity, more Jewish pride from even those who continue to demonize the Israeli government they don't like, the behaviors or decisions that may not appease modern progressive agendas, and yet turn a blind eye to the hostages who are so visibly being used as a propaganda tool, just like the starvation campaigns on the covers of the magazines and in every single newsreel. We may not ever be able to counter all those lies, but what we can do is make sure that they do not last. We can make sure that every effort can be made to change the rhetoric. And that involves every one of us. And that's the only way we will survive it, is by starting to speak that common language. Leave your politics at the door. Find the source of being a member of this tribe, this great civilization, this peoplehood that has survived so much. Certainly, this effort, this is not the end of us. Let's always remember it, and let's always raise our head in pride.